All right. How many times do we have to go over the fact that meat is indeed not necessary for the human body? Mary Lee Evans says that meat is necessary for the human body. So if we can't get there, we'll never get there if you don't believe that it's even possible. Like, what do you think is going to happen? What's going to happen? Over 9 years without eating any animals. So what about it is necessary? All right, we're doing some cleans today though, so plenty of time. We're gonna do not three, maybe just one actually. So end up doing 10 cleans after today. So let's get going. Remember, 300 reps for the animals, raise awareness. Average person eats 300 pounds of meat every single year. So we're raising awareness for that. You could be strong, fit, and healthy without eating any animals whatsoever. That's not going to start, is it? There we go. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, first round through. Just try to maybe do one clean. Let's add a little bit of weight each time. Full squat clean. Let's do that one again. I'm not used to doing that. Two of them. All right, first round through. But guys, meat isn't necessary. I thought so too for the longest time. One. But it's really not. Two. Three. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Yeah, there's nothing in meat that you can't get from a plant-based source or that's essential that your body doesn't make itself. So there's just nothing. There's nothing about eating animals that makes it necessary. There's nothing in animals that's necessary for your body to get. This is what you're used to. And all plants have protein. You think that you're not going to get enough protein. It's not true. You shouldn't even be worrying about protein, to be honest. Nobody should be worried about protein. All right, this is 35, 70. This is 105. Let's do one more. All right, round 3. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or is that 7? Man, I'll be 8. 9, 10. All right, 3 rounds through. Let's add Let's add some more. So 45. These would be like 45s. This would be 125. I felt all right. Elbow is still not there. But it's a leg movement. It's driving with your legs. This pressure here on the elbow, I think it's from having doing the front squats with the dumbbells, with those for the vegan presses. 100 of them. All right, let's keep it going. This will be round 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's add 10 pounds. So this would be 135 here. 135. Squat clean. For 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, halfway. We're halfway. So 135. So we got essentially 10 more lifts here. So let's do 2 rounds at 135. Maybe add on from there. Nice and light. We're staying light. We're staying light, team. All right, this is 135. One more. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, 6 rounds through, guys. 6 rounds through. We're staying at 135. It's a good weight. So we've got, yeah. So 2 of these, 135. How many we got? 6 through. Thought that was 7. No. Round 6. We'll see. I don't know if we put. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, 7 rounds through from what that says. So let's go. Let's go. Let's go add 10 more. All right. One more. Mm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, 8 rounds through. All right, let's add 10 more. One more. All right, almost done. 2 more rounds. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 9 rounds through. All right, last round. Get to 100. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one. 100. All right, and then we'll do 2 more of these just to finish it out. And I'll add, we can add 10 more. All right, here we go. Last 2. Last one. Ooh, 20 seconds before the time cap. 30 minutes. Here we go. Last one. Woo. Done. All right, that's it. 30 minutes. Boom. You don't need meat. You don't need to eat any meat. It's not necessary. It's not necessary at all. A lot of people are made to believe that it's necessary. You're brought up not questioning it, just saying, I know in our era, beef is what's for dinner. If you remember those commercials, it is what it is. It's just beef. That's just what's for dinner. I didn't know, like, what is it? What all goes into making your food, if you want to call it that? And it's like animals. But, it's not necessary. So the moment you understand or can come to the realization that it absolutely is indeed unnecessary to eat animals. Meat is necessary, though. And I encourage you to dig deeper. Just dig into it. Dig into why you believe. First, start off where you got that information from. A credible source. Is it your buddy that you were talking to? Is it you think that that's just common sense? Where did you learn this, that meat is necessary? You gotta start where you learned it. Then please be willing, to challenge wherever it came from. It could have came from your parents. And it's often difficult to think about questioning your parents. Your parents are supposed to know everything and, guide you and lead you in the right direction. However, if they didn't know, if they didn't have the knowledge or the means or the time frame or the location or the privilege to be able to learn about this, of course they wouldn't. And if they didn't question it, of course they're not going to come up with it themselves. I wouldn't say of course. I mean, but there's a large chance that that's just what we're going to do because everybody else is doing it. Every single person you hang out with, your family, you were raised this way. There's commercials about it. It's, the government is saying that, everybody is pointing in the direction of, eating a food group, and essentially a food group being animal protein. Well, not really, because you need protein, right? We understand that we need protein, but does it need to be or need to come from an animal? And the answer is no. The answer is absolutely not. In fact, a lot. I hear kitty, kitty. There's a kitty. Kitty, 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 kitty. Of course, we're going to eat meat. It's all around us. Everybody's telling us to. Our schools are selling meat options, only meat options at school. I mean, and it's all around us. Of course, we're not gonna. We're not. Most of us aren't gonna question it. But now you got enough resources out there. There's enough. A lot of people are coming across the information a lot earlier. It took me over 30 years before I even understood or knew what veganism was, or watched a clip, or somebody got in my face about, not literally in my face, but I came across like what happens to animals through, like, by buying eggs and the dairy industry. So it's like once you learn about it, it's like, all right, now you have the knowledge. You'd be like, man, I don't want to contribute to that. That's not for me. So now got to understand, meat is not necessary for the human body, not my human body, not your human body, not anybody's human body. Not necessary. What up, dude? You out? All right, man. We'll see you. Have a good time. Love you. He doesn't eat animals. It's not necessary. And if you think it is, like, what do you think is happening with our bodies, with our families' bodies, and millions of other people who are continuing to not eat animals? How is it, how do you claim, or, what do you think is necessary about eating animals when these people have been doing it for way longer than we have, and we're over 9 years. So to me, this is just something that you've yet to come to an understanding or a realization of that being necessary. And I think all the information that you had growing up, and it's just like, oh my gosh, like, you have to be okay with being wrong, like okay with being like, dang, like we got it wrong. Like, I actually was wrong on this, meaning it's actually not necessary to eat animals. So we just have to, is it necessary to eat animals to be strong, fit, and healthy? Optimal. I think the other day I was worried, like, um, looking for a term that people use. and saying that they need to eat both animals and plants to be optimal performance or whatever. Like, what does that even mean, optimal performance? And then I look at you look at Olympic athletes, you look at professional athletes who are all plant-based, who don't consume any animals. And if they don't need to, and they're at their optimal performance, and they can make the best of the best in athletically, I think no matter what you wanted to do or your goals, you can absolutely achieve them without the need to consume any animals whatsoever. And have you tried? Because you clearly know that it's the right thing to do. You don't want to be contributing to what's happening to the animals, of driving them to slaughter, of raising them and taking their babies away and sending them off into a truck, into a slaughterhouse, a manufacturing facility that they will end their life, chop up their body parts, and ship them out for all being unnecessary. Meaning you and I don't need to consume that. So the fact that people still think it's necessary to eat animals for the human body is just flat out wrong. So I encourage you to do the research, try your own experiment. We've been over 9 years. There's other people that have gone longer. There's other people that have just starting. Try your own experiment. You know, like what does no animals look like for the next meal? Try one day, see what happens, see if you feel different. You know what I mean? All right, but that's it. It's not necessary. Mary Lee Evans. It's just not necessary. We have to continue to make that known. And I'll be the first to admit it if it ends up being not necessary, or if it ends up being necessary. But all the evidence, everything out there is pointing in the direction, and is proven that you don't need to eat and consume any animal proteins. They call it a properly planned diet. Eat a variety of different plants. You're going to want to. You're going to enjoy eating a variety of different plants, different plant proteins, different flavors, different colors, different textures. They're all taste amazing. You're going to find what you enjoy, what works for you. And I would start with the things that you're already consuming in a meat-based option. Just change the meat-based portion of it to plant-based portion. It's really simple. It is simple enough. All right, though. That's all I got here. No questions. Nobody wants to come on and chat. Or have a great rest of the day. But please don't believe that meat is necessary for the human body. If anything you take away from this is go Google, do the research, look up how many people are actually excelling and have optimal performance all on plant-based diet, no animals whatsoever. So you don't need to. And if you can just supplement whatever it is that you think that you can't get or wouldn't get enough of, and if you can supplement that with a plant-based option, why wouldn't that be the direction that you go? All right, guys. Have a great rest of the day. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.